So when you're looking at a website, you can see, look, I've already taught y'all how to do this. So you automatically know that that's the top of the page, right? We know that you're going to have to put in the doc type. What else can you tell just by looking at this, what you already know? I've already taught you half, well, not half the things, but I've already taught you the basics that are on this site. Tell me a little bit. Where? Where do you see it? Huh? You just guessed, didn't you?
I was guessing, I was just saying that you haven't part of it.
Technically, you see images, but the way they insert their images is a little bit different. So on theirs, they link them because some of them you can actually turn over. So they scan theirs in a certain way so that you can click on it and it'll flip the image. Yeah. See, like this one right here, when you learn to how it works, look at it. It says flip card front end. This one right here, wherever that one is in this mess, I'm not sure which one it is, but in here, that one will flip over. Cool, huh? So the way they code all of theirs, just because they automatically do it that way, the way they code them is if they need them to flip, they'll flip. But y'all talk to me. There's at least 4 or 5 things on here that I can see without even moving this up and down that y'all already know how to code. It looks like a lot, but y'all already know 4 or 5 things on here that y'all can code. And I need y'all to understand this. What? Everything's in the center. Where do you see that? In the coding? I need y'all to look at the coding and tell me what y'all see. What y'all already know, yes. The header language, the EN-US, right? You already know how to do that. You already know how to put that in. Now all the other garbled language just behind it, y'all might not know that yet, but you could. I could teach you that. What else? Good. I can sit here all day, guys. You're gonna talk to me. My other class literally talked the entire time. Come on, talk to me. What else do y'all know on that list? The open alligator and the closes and the backward slash to close it. Yep. Good. The body. Now this one has, so we only do body. I've only taught you the body part, right? Who said that? You did, Tatiana? So I only taught you the body, right? This one's got body class, and I'm going to teach you that too. So there's different types of bodies that you could put in. There's different ways to code it so it'll register you want certain colors or certain techniques. But you already know that that's the body. That's all you need to know. It's the body portion. It's where all the content's going to be. It doesn't matter what comes after that. I just need to know that this is the body portion. So you already know that part. What else? So far, it has been pointed out, because I'm short. This right here, I pointed that part out. Somebody else pointed this out, right? Somebody pointed this part out. We pointed out the little open alligator and the forward slash closing of the alligators. What else have y'all learned with me? And we've only coded, what, one good time? The head. Yep. Is that on this page? Where do you see the search?
Divided page?
Right here, you talking about here? Yep, that's it, that is technically one of the ways that you can do the image search. Yeah. Now, theirs is not an image, it's a link to itself, but you're on the right page, not page, you see it. But you're on the right point, because that is a type of way to search for something. So in the coding process, instead of it being an image search, it's a website search. So this will link to a type of plugin that they have. Yeah, good job. See, you didn't even know that that was some type of way to search for something, but instead of it being an image, it's linking to something else. But you know, it's searching for something. Yeah, what else? What did you say?
I said the divided page.
Where do you see that?
The one that says the open alligator DIV. And clothes. If you look below the one that says body class,
That? Oh, this right here?
yes,
What do you mean divided page?
like you're dividing a page when you're trying to code.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Have we taught that yet?
I don't think so, but it stood out to me.
Okay. So we have not talked about that one yet. None of that part yet. So the class as a whole does not know what that means. We have talked about what the exclamation point means. So would y'all understand what this means? These two pieces here? Is that gonna show up on your website? No, it's not. Okay. It's not gonna show up on your website because the exclamation point means what? It's just a comment that you have. Alright? So do y'all see how much you're already able to read and you don't know all of this stuff yet? Like, it does look like a lot though, doesn't it? Kind of overwhelming. But you already know the pretty basic things. You already know how to search for stuff because of the SRC. You already know the head, you already know the body. The only pieces on here that you might not know is all the detail pieces. You don't know what the DIV ID is. You don't know much about the style, which I'm going to actually teach y'all about. And then the script is something that's a little bit different. I can't move it. I want to move it. Now, what's really cool is how this is setting up. This down here is telling you what the styles are for the page. Okay, so with the way the coding is set up on this page, when I'm going to show you that it's different for us when we're coding, the website's already showing you everything. So this is telling you what all the colors are on that page. It's all in one piece. Whereas when I teach you how, I can teach you how to do it internally, like an inlay or inline, or in the sheet, or I'm actually going to teach you how to do it in a separate sheet and then get to, which is not what they're showing, which is what would be under here. It would be under your head for us. But you see all these like codes right here? The hex code? I don't think that's anyway. But the hex codes here, that's telling you what colors they're doing everything in. All that right there. So do you see how much information you already have and you don't even know all the information? I don't know all the information on this page. But I could code some of it and change some things if I wanted to when I'm looking at it. Which, if you have somebody that has some type of color blindness, you could change it for them to be able to view it, and it's not going to change it on the other person's website, it's just going to change it on yours. So that they can look at it a little bit easier if they do have some issues with like red and greens and stuff like that. Make sense? Everybody with me?
out of all these wires for a trip or something.
Y'all missed it earlier. I forgot who I was for a minute. Couldn't remember my job. That was a mess. All right, so let's go over what we did as mock-ups. Now, a lot of people didn't turn in the mock-ups, which, based on the lack of people turning in mock-ups, I'm going to say that more than likely it was a confusion piece on my end. The mock-up. So in this class, I only had one person turn it in, and it wasn't done correctly, so I'm not gonna show it. I did give them notes though. But let's talk about show me what you got. Okay. But I will say this, the mock-up, does everybody remember what a mock-up is supposed to be? Kind of like a screenshot. I mean, don't take a screenshot, but it should be like a screenshot of what the website's going to be. That's your wireframe. Thursday.
I thought the only thing we had to do Thursday that you told us about was the.
Well, I might have accidentally put in the wrong date.
Yeah, the only thing. you
Like
told us
the year
about was
before.
the Website that was being.
Yeah, so I fixed it, and I moved it to Thursday. Yeah. Well, I kind of put in the wrong date for last year, which doesn't help anybody either. But a lot of people didn't seem to understand it, so I'm taking that as a fail on my end. Not saying like you guys suck and all that mess, because it's not your fault. If majority of 2 classes didn't understand what that meant, that tells me I didn't explain it well, obviously. Okay, so you have your wireframe, right? Well, let's start from the beginning. You have your mood board. What is your mood board? Yeah. So your mood board is kind of like your color themes, your what? What did you say?
The basics of the basics.
The basics of the basics, right? Kind of your idea about images, your typography thoughts, all the things you would like to do with the page. Kind of gives you an idea of what the mood is going to be for the page, hence the name. Then your wireframe, which is what, I'm trying to call you April, that's not right. Ashley. I don't know what April, just forgive me, I literally forgot who I was in my last class. So Ashley is talking about wireframes, and your wireframes, remember, is basically a white sheet of paper or a white design with boxes and X's and Latin words if you need words on there, right? It should be nothing more than that. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to say this because my job is to prepare y'all for a real job, right? And after talking with a lot of our students who have graduated and moved on, one of the things that we have found is that they will tell us things like, oh, you know, I wasn't prepared because things are so fast paced, or y'all, you know, not everybody, but certain instructors allowed us to get away with certain things and all that. So I've always looked at y'all's work as, if you turn in your work to me, is a job going to accept this work? Does it meet the standard of what they're going to want you to do? Now, of course, when you're in the beginning phases of something and I'm teaching you something in the beginning, I have to take that into consideration too, right? Because you're still learning. So I'm not going to hold it up to the same standard, but I will hold you up to the standard of what I've taught you to that point. Now, when it comes to a wireframe, if you were to turn it in on a sheet of paper with lines on it that you hand drew without using rulers, or that you hand wrote things, they are not going to hire you. Do y'all understand that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Because even after I told y'all in the class don't do it this way, some of y'all still did it that way. And the problem is as we move forward, there are still mistakes being made that it's like I'm not being heard. Now, mock-up not getting done, that's totally on me. Something did not communicate well on my end. I'm taking full responsibility for that. But my job is to prepare y'all. So if you're not prepared for the real world, how do you expect to survive out in the real world, is my question. So I want to know from you guys that are in the classroom today, what do y'all expect from the real world? Are y'all planning on getting jobs when y'all leave here, or y'all just do this for fun? I'm just curious. I'm not judging, I'm just curious. Sales and photography? Okay. So the website thing on your aspect is kind of nice to know because you need to know probably some of it, but it's not like a huge fail if you can't do it all together. Right? Yeah, I get that because that's how I was.
Yeah, I'm not going into a website, I was just getting this class by John.
What are you going into?
I'm working on graphic design.
But you're graduating with the full degree, so you have to have the class. Yeah. And that's understandable. There was classes I took in school that I had to have, but I was just like, oh, statistics, really? Like, right. I get it.
The same class I took last year, and I was in a year class. Problem sets.
Yeah.
Take it again.
Yeah. Now, and this is why I teach website design the way I teach it. It's because I know majority of you will not go on to do website design. When I took this program, I would have never thought I would have been a web designer. In all truthness, I took this program, it was called radio and television design. Not web, no, radio and television broadcasting. Web design was not even an option for us. So when I went into the real world and was doing things and all of a sudden website design was a big thing, I had to kind of learn and teach myself how to do a lot of these techniques. And then I went on to a 4-year school that helped me learn more, right? Now I'm in my master's program where we're doing some more things like this. But the problem is even in photography, even in graphic design, a lot of the times you're still gonna have to do some type of coding or be able to design. You might not do the coding aspect. Now, the coding aspect, there's always gonna be some nerd. I'm not kidding, because I can be that nerd. I like the coding side. There's gonna be a nerd and there's gonna be a designer. And they're not gonna talk on the same level. Your designer's very artsy fartsy. They love to be like very creative and they have all these things and they're like, ooh, flowers and butterflies and unicorns and whoo, I'm having fun. And your nerdy guy is gonna be sitting over here going, but you need to put the X here with the Y here and the Z and this needs to be a / and you're gonna have this and you don't need a space here. You're talking to an FM and an AM radio station right now, right? They do not talk well together. So there are gonna be times where your AM coder is gonna code a certain way and you cannot get him to understand what you need that site to look like, right? And you're talking to a woman for 10 years that fought with these people. It's like talking to somebody in IT. You're gonna fight with them. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna love them dearly because they're gonna be your best friend because they're gonna fix all the things you mess up every day. You're gonna call and you're like, hey buddy, I need you to fix this. Hey, that's what I say. But there's gonna be things that you can't get across to them that you're gonna need to understand some of the coding for. And that's where I come in. Flowers, roses, unicorns, butterflies, rainbows. But there's an aspect of coding that you need to have too. And there's an aspect that you need to be able to draw out professionally to show them, hey, I know what I'm talking about, so listen to me. Especially women who don't get heard. Okay? So just be aware. And because all of y'all are so young, you're just not going to be heard. So be professional. Be that person that comes in with the design on a computer, not on paper, not online paper, and definitely not hand drawn. Like you were driving down the road. Okay. Got it? All right, so we're talking about wireframes. We're moving on to the mock-up. So what is the mock-up? Someone said snapshot. I think we already talked about it, right? Someone said like a snapshot, a screen capture. Basically, yes, your mock-up is gonna be what the website should look like. I don't need information on, this is what the colors will be. That was your mood board. Your mock-up should be exactly what your website should look like, as if I took a screenshot of this page right now. Okay, that is what your mock-up should look like. What the website should look like if I went and got snippet and took a screenshot of it in the moment. Now, prototyping. Have we got to that point in our conversation today? Okay, prototyping is fun. Prototyping is where you put it in Adobe XD, but you don't have to code anything yet, thank God. Right? Prototyping is where you put it in XD and you make buttons and you make them work, and they go to certain websites and they go here and there and they do all the things, and you can see how it would work if it was a functioning website. Now, the prototyping is what you would send to your web developer, who would then take your prototype and code it for you. Okay, so as people who are in the designing world, the graphic design world, the photography world, a lot of the times we will be the ones that design all that and then send it to a developer and say, this is what I want, this is how I want it to work. So you would make it in Adobe XD and then send it on to them, and from there they would code it all. And once they code it, you would do like a comparison between the two until they got it right. Or if you got fed up with them, you would just finish their coding. They would do all the hard stuff and you would just fix it. Does that make sense? And then from there, you actually would have a functioning website once they coded it. Okay. So before next class, and I've already fixed the date and the time up to this year. So before next class, the mock-ups need to be done, because when we get into Adobe XD to do the prototyping, you will need to have your mock-up to go back. All right, does that make sense? Okay, cool. Now, if your mock-up is not done correctly, your prototype will not be done correctly either, just so you have a heads up. If the mock-up does not look like a website page, it will not, let's put it this way. If your mock-up ends up with a bad grade, your prototype will end up with a bad grade. Does that make sense? Because if your snapshot is not a website design, your mock-up will not be a website design. Now, I'm assuming the majority of you in here will do that properly. I'm trying to make sure everybody understands what's going on. Okay. Now, my last class was already asking about learning how to do certain types of coding and things like that. So I'm going to send out a survey asking what kind of coding things y'all are going to want to know how to do. Because after we do the prototyping, we're done with redesigning the other person's website. We're going to start working on our own personal websites. You're going to do a 2-page website, and our own personal websites are going to be 2 pages. You're going to have a 1 page that's just all about you and all the things you love, and yay me, I'm cool, all fun things. The second page is going to be about your professional stuff. What you want to be, what you've done so far, what you know, all those things. All right, so you can have one, you can live it up, design it however you want. It can be wild, crazy, fun. The other one needs to be very professional. All right, so that one will actually full on code. So if certain people want it to have certain effects, things like that, just let me know. I can teach you how to do that. Like some people wanted to know how to do a carousel, all those kind of things. I can teach you all those things. All right, so what time do we leave? 12:20? 12:30? All right, so let's look at what y'all did when you had the freedom to learn or try to learn different things. I am missing a lot of people's assignments, so those are automatically going to be zeros because they counted as your attendance as well.
Yeah, someone in the last class didn't realize that.
I told them.
Until I told him last night.
I told everybody.
He forgot.
Elliot's in this class, so let me go ahead and do Elliot.
The new notepad, what do we save it as? I forgot one time.
HTML
What do we save it as?
in the bottom. The drop down box in the bottom. Alright, so Elliot's web example. He likes to eat quesadillas. So what did you do differently with your, whoops, I just completely got rid of your whole page, hold on. What did you do differently with your page than what we did in class? Remember you were supposed to like go onto W3 schools and add things or change some things? So you didn't do that. Okay. Okay.
I have to just want to add this, different way with using it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah. I want y'all to kind of play with it, try some things out. Which would mean like coding some things. All right, Sarah. You're already a godmother. I saw the pictures. All right, so Sarah did this. You added some more images. Yeah. Changed, messed around with some of the sizing. Okay.
Like I said, yeah, I didn't know what to do, so you get to stay at my face.
That's all right. You continued adding on, that's cool. All right, Ella is not here. Madison is in my other class. Heath is in my other class. William. William, I think I did yours in my other, like, I think I just opened it by accident. I want to say it didn't work. Yeah, it's not working. So, you sent me a link instead of a whole file, so it might be one. Jameson's in the other class. Will K sent his a map share. Let me go find that.
Oh, my new one's in the CFS folder. Yeah.
It should not be in your CSS folder.
What is this here?
Your CSS is gonna be your style sheet, so when we start working on style sheets, that would be what should be in your CSS folders. So, no, you should never put in your CSS. That's okay.
But if you're looking for the one that I did it.
Okay, so let me show you K's. I'll probably move it for you.
Okay.
Extract all. Oh, I have to move it onto my computer. You'll have to do it in there, but I'll show you how to do it. So when I go to extract his folder. Okay, so here's his. So this is not the right one, right?
Yeah, that's just the one that I did.
Okay, so because he's done with that one, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one for now. This one's not yours, this is a copy of yours. So this one here needs to be moved up. It's not gonna let me do it. Okay, so I'm gonna copy it. And paste it here, and I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna delete that one. Cause the CSS is a style sheet, it's not an actual website.
Okay.
So I'm going to rename it, cause the CSS would tell me that it is a different type of format. And we're gonna double click on it. Oh, he changed his background color,
Yeah, I think the color.
and you changed the font, okay? Alright, cool. Good job. See how his images are in here? So nothing right now should be in this folder ever. Alright. Cool, good job. Let's see, she's in the other class, Cameron. Where's yours at, Cameron?
I believe I did that one thing.
In the map share, okay. When y'all put things in the map share, you just need to put a comment where they are, cause if it's not there, I'm not just gonna go hunting them down. No offense, it's just a lot of work if it's not where it says it's gonna be. Does your first name start with a J, Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna move his over. Alright, so Cameron, you see how you only have the one thing on here? Anytime you build a website, you should always have a CSS folder. Even if you don't put anything in them, it's just a good habit to have your CSS in your IMG folders. Because if you do have to add later, instead of somebody else trying to build it and mess them up somehow, you already have them in there and they can just throw what they need in there. He highlighted the title up here. He put this in a box. Oh, you linked your YouTube image, your YouTube video onto the page.
Yeah, I don't know how to directly link the video to it, I could only get the video playing.
Embedded into the thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, see how your image isn't working here? It's because you didn't have it all together. Yeah. So if your image was in here, it would be showing up on here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's not showing at the moment. Is everybody kind of understanding this? I'm not like giving Cameron a hard time. I'm kind of explaining this to him outside. So everybody's kind of learning. Do y'all see kind of why we're doing this? Okay.
You just give them a hard time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If y'all saw my other class, because there's so much of a back and forth, I give them such crap. I used to do that with her, but she's gotten so quiet on me. Good job, Cameron. Alyssa is next. I know she's over there like, "Oh." The other thing too, I don't know if y'all have ever noticed, if you don't extract them, like once you zip them, if you don't extract them, sometimes they won't work. She also changed her background. Ooh, and did some indention stuff. Okay, man. I see you. And linked all of these? My heart is so happy right now. Not just because there's cats on screen, but look at that. Okay, good job. Very good job. You know what? Extra points awarded to Gryffindor. Nobody got it? Just me? Okay. Oh, I already did that one. This did not work. Yeah, somebody was trying to submit things through W3 schools and that did not work for them. Ethan, yours is next. I say that and then yours is a W3 schools. Ugh. Ethan, yours is not working, bud. You sent it through a link.
Yeah.
It's not working.
What do you do?
You would need to do it in Dreamweaver or Notepad++ and save it and zip it that way into the assignment or in the map share. Lindsay is not in this class. Alright, so Edward. Where's your website link?
I think it's only on this computer.
So. Alright, so when I'm looking at this, none of these are. What is all of this?
Oh, it's from W3 school.
Okay. Yeah, so because I don't have your website, we're not gonna be able to look at it. So if you want to grade, you'll have to resubmit it with everything in the zip file done correctly. Alright, Ashley. Okay, so Ashley, because yours is not in the, folder as well. You see how what happens when you don't have your images and stuff in the folder? That's not how it looks. That's how it looks on my end. Because you only sent me your HTML. Right, so this is why you have to zip everything in the folder. So if you only send me the link, this is all I get. This is all I can see. You see what I'm saying? But because on your end, you have the images, you have the folders. If you zip the whole thing to me, everything comes to my end. So you see how, like, when we were opening up the other folders here? Let me see ones that we have opened up that way. See how, like, Sarah, I'm gonna borrow you for a minute. So Sarah had her image folders here because she had images in here. When we opened up her example, her images actually showed up. Because when she zipped everything to me, her images and everything were still linked to her website. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. Which one is the one that I was supposed to look at? Okay, so delete the other two. Mhm. So then what you're gonna do is go back. And wherever that file is, that folder. Don't open the folder. Just go to wherever that folder is, like whatever file that folder is sitting in. Mhm. Oh, yeah, it's just right click on it. Okay, and then surely when it, like, click on it now to open it. Click on that one. Yeah, now everything's together. So when you send it to me that way, I will have your link, your folders with the images and everything, and it should open up everything on mine. You see what I'm saying? Whereas before you only sent me a link. So I didn't have your images for it to link to. So those images, it's like, well, it says there's images here, but it doesn't have the folder or the image for it to find. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can. And I can grade it, you know, that's not a big deal. Let's see, Isaiah's not in this class. Kylie is over there. So Kylie, you also sent me a W3. It's, okay, there it is. So here is Kylie's. Girl, me too, Chick-fil-A. That's what I had this morning. So she added another image. Look, she actually put an emoji in there. And a superscript. You know, nobody's ever done a superscript on their own until this semester, and I've been teaching this for 4 years. And nobody's ever done that. This right here. Or subscript or whatever they call it. And then she linked Chick-fil-A to their website. Nice job. It should let you. Okay. Remind me when we're done to look at it. These two are not in this class. This one's not in this class. Tatiana, you're next. Uh-oh. Oh. There it goes. Okay. All right. Here. Okay, ma'am. I see you. She had some fun with this. She made a YouTube playlist. We have a K-pop dance team on site. Oh, I was like, I have never heard of them. Okay, that's cool. All right, good job. Very bright and colorful. All right, so does everybody kind of see what you were supposed to do? Just kind of playing with it. I didn't have major expectations. I just wanted to kind of see what y'all could come up with on your own. Okay. So, mock-ups. Let me kind of show you examples of some of the other students' mock-ups for their websites. And they will need to be in by Thursday. So this one is doing a mock-up of Space Jam. They have links here that the person can click on. Theirs also has it to where if they click on this, they can open it, or if they click these or click one of the other planets, it'll rotate around and be another link. So this is their mock-up of their main page. All right, kind of see how it already looks like what the website should look like? Yes, no, maybe y'all don't care, like what's happening? What's going on? Thank you. Thank you for talking with me. Another one is this one. As soon as it decides to open. I don't know why they're taking forever. So Amy was trying to keep them there to get us away. You know, I've heard that. The entire system seems to have to get away. I know they're working on getting us a better way to do it. It'll be their best way to. Okay. Ignore the line in the center, cause that's just the artboard that you can ignore. So this is somebody else's mock-up of what their website will look like. Y'all kind of see what I'm talking about here? And then these are good examples. I'm not gonna show y'all bad. I'm just gonna show y'all good today. And then here's another one. All right. So y'all kind of understand what the mock-up should look like? They should look like you already opened up the website, but you can't click on anything. Okay? Any questions at all? Illustrator, Photoshop, some people are using Canva, though Canva doesn't give you a lot of options. Some people are using Express, Adobe Express. Yep. Any other questions? Okay, this will be due before class on Thursday because you'll need this in order for us to do our prototyping. All right? So if you've already turned in your mock-up, please go check your grades to make sure that you can adjust it if you've already turned it in before next class. Got it? Everybody good? All right, y'all are done. Y'all are free to go. Live your best life.